Hello, welcome to my channel. I am going to be doing a card tutorial for you today, and I'm really super excited about it because I have been working on it for a little while. I thought about doing this year with the Christmas planner kit, and I really hope you'll like it. I'm going to run down your list of supplies needed. Now, this might not be everything you need because sometimes when I'm writing down my list of things that I need, sometimes I don't list them all. So, basic supplies that I know you're going to need. You're going to need some sort of paper trimmer. I'm going to use this one here. It's a guillotine style, but it's the mini one from Fiskars. I'm going to use that because we're only working with small sheets of paper, so you don't really need your big cutter. So I thought I would use that. You need some 12 by 12 white cardstock, and what I've done is I've cut each piece of 12 by 12 white cardstock into a 6 by 6 sheet and then scored it down the middle to make 3 by 6 cards. I know that's not a standard size of card, but I really like this size of card for Christmas cards. I think it's really cool. You can put money in it. Most money fits in, checks, that kind of stuff. It's a good size, and it's easy to find envelopes for them. And yeah, so I've done up quite a few bases. I wasn't perfect on cutting. Nobody's going to really notice, so it's fine. So if you want to do, I think I did 5 sheets, so I might have done 20 cards. Depends on what you want, how you want to decorate your cards. You'll end up with anywhere from 12 to 20 cards. So it's up to you. And you're going to need any die cuts and embellishments. I took apart all of the kit, all the die cuts and stuff from the kits that were available for December. I've also cut out all of these birds and these Christmas ornaments and this Christmas present I've cut out, and I've also cut out all of these things from the free printables. So I've gone ahead and done all of that. I have them all in this little dish, and minus my paintbrushes, obviously, because we don't need those. Excuse me. And you can use these to decorate on your cards. I've also put in the leftovers from my meal planning tip-ins. I thought these would be really cute on the cards, and so I threw those in as well. Basically, any kind of supplies that you want to use to decorate your cards is absolutely fine. You can do it all with free printables, you can do it with stamps, you can do it with stickers, pretty much whatever you want. So what I did first was I decorated my planner to make sure that everything that I wanted to use in my planner is in my planner. And then I went ahead and took 3 sheets from the planner kit, and so that is part of your supplies needed. You could also use some of the scrapbooking paper if you belong to the scrapbooking kit, and cut up, this is just an extra piece that I had, but you could cut out 8.5 by 6, and that will give you the right size if you wanted to use the scrapbook paper instead of the planner kit paper. But I wanted to really do it from the planner kit just because I'm on the planner team, and so I thought it would be great to have these cards done with the planner kit. So anyways, in the blog post that is tied to this video on the Cocoa Daisy website, linked below in the video. If you're not on the Cocoa Daisy website already watching this video, if you're watching it from my YouTube channel, if you go to the link, there will be 3 files or 3 photos of how I've cut my paper. Now, I've just stuck it on my phone because I forgot to bring my sheets with me to my mom's house. I'm filming in my mom's house this week, so I've got all 3 sheets that we'll be working with, and as we cut I can also let you know what you're cutting, but it is a good idea to take a look at those sheets so you know how the sheets are set up. It could also help you make your decision on whether you use these sheets or whether you use just regular cardstock. But I did design it based on the size of the sheets for the planner kit. So again, it's totally up to you. I may even make more with the scrapbooking kit. We'll see. You can use the Christmas stamps that we got this year in the kits. You could also use any of your other stamps. If there's stamps on here that you really think will work, you could use any of these. Really, whatever will work. If you have Christmas stamps, you could use those. I didn't bring any Christmas stamps with me, so I'm just going to have to kind of fake it through, but I'm also thinking that I'm probably going to write a few times with a marker or whatever, and as I go through, everything will kind of work itself out as we go. So you can also have a couple of extra sheets of the white cardstock if you want to stamp a clean image and color it, to put over top of some of the other elements, or you can stamp on the elements, or you can stamp right on the card. It's really up to you. So I'm going to give you the base of these cards, and then you can go ahead and embellish as you need. I don't know how long this video is going to be, and I'm hoping that the shadows aren't going to be too bad for you, so I will try and keep that to a minimum. I did try and move my mom's lighting around, but I don't think it's working, so I might just move the light again and then come back and start with the video. Okay, I am back. So we're going to get started by cutting out all of these pieces, and then we will work on other things. So I'm going to go through and just kind of look at the sheets and kind of decide which paper. Now remember, these are double-sided, so this paper would work with any of the sheets. If you wanted to just use this, you could also use this side, so it's really up to you. I am going to do, I believe this one I'm going to do first. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up here so you can see it. And I'm going to use the sheet that, I don't know if you can see it on my screen, that's the only thing. So it has two 2x3 squares, then it has a row of 1-inch squares, then a 1x6 inch long bar, then 4 diagonal 2x3 pieces, and then a 2.5 by 2.5 piece and a 3.5 by 2.5 piece. So I'm going to do that with this cardstock here. So we're going to start with the bottom half. So these ones are 2 inches tall by 3 inches by 3 inches wide. So I'm going to cut my 2 inches first, and then I'm going to cut 3 inches. And so that gives me 2 of my bases. Then the next one is, there's 2 rows of 1 inch. So we can cut both of those. So 1 inch. And 1 inch. And then leave one plain. And then this one I'm going to cut a couple times to make some 1-inch squares. Now it does say to do all 6 of them. It's really up to you whether you do all 6 of them. You can leave, you know, half of it as a 3-inch piece. You can do all 6. It's really totally up to you. This again is just a guideline of how I wanted the cards to be set out, so you can change things up if you want. So the next sheet is the diagonal 2x3 pieces. So the first thing you do is cut your 2 inches, because that's your height, and then you're going to cut your 3 inches, and then you're going to cut diagonally. So what I do is I just line up the corners on the edge of the cutting board, and then cut. And as you can see, they look really cute. And then you can either do the same thing with this one, or you can do it differently. I kind of like the cockeyed, the opposite angle, so we'll do that. So both of those are done, and again, because these are double-sided, you technically could use this side, or you could use this side, so not all your cards need to be the same, right? So then we have, this is your last piece you're going to cut in this one. This one is 2.5 by 2.5, so we're going to cut that first, and then you're left with the 3.5 by 2.5. So that is your first sheet cut. And then, I think for this one, yeah. So this one here is the poinsettia and the dots. I'm going to use the sheet that has the long 2x6 on the bottom, then the 3 2x2s, then the 2 large diagonal 3x6s, and then the 3 1/2-inch by 6 inches. So I'm going to go ahead, and what I want to do is have this side be my 3 long pieces. So this side I want to cut last, so when I put it in, I want to put it in so that I'm cutting that piece last. So the first thing, so I guess I'll go this way. So I'm going to cut, my first cut is going to be 2 inches by 6 inches. So that's exactly how it's going to sit. So chances are I'll use it this way rather than this way, because you're really not getting too much of the floral pattern. The next one is 2 inches by 2 inches, 3 sets of those. So I'm going to cut this, there, 1, 2, and 3. Now this one, you could use these poinsettias, or you could use the dots. And then this other one where it is 3 inches and then cut diagonally is, I'm going to do it, because it doesn't really much matter which way we do it. I'm going to do the diagonal this way. So then we end up with 2 sort of long poinsettia cards or 2 dotted cards. And then this is where we have 3 1/2-inch pieces. Now the 1/2-inch mark on this, I believe, is just the silver line. So I'm just going to cut, actually I guess I could go 1 inch. And then do the silver line. Scooch that out. So this one is really super cute. You could do that way, or you could use the dots again. So gives you a different option. It doesn't even look like it comes from the poinsettia piece. And then the other one, the other sheet, is the one with the 1 1/4 by 2 inch little squares, and then the 2x2s and 4x2 pieces, and then the 2.5 by 2.5 pieces. So this one here, I'm going to do, I guess both sides are exactly the same, so it doesn't really much matter which way we do. And then we also have this side. So 1.25 by 2 inches, so these are 2 inches tall by 1.25. And then 1.25 again. And then 1.25 again. And then this one is 2.25 by 2. So we have those pieces. And then your next sheet is 2 inches long, 2 inches tall. And it is 2 inches, I'm going to do it this way, I think. And then 4 inches, and then this side again is 2 inches. And I think I'm going to do it this way. And that one, and then this one is 2.5 by 2.5. And then another 2.5 by 2.5. And then you're left over with a 1 inch by 2.5. Alright, so all of your pieces are cut. You can put this off to the side unless you're going to cut some more cardstock. You can use complementary cardstock to go with these to kind of layer your cards if you want. I do have a couple of packs of paper which I might experiment with. I've also given myself the little gems that we got from the Cocoa Daisy kits. I've given myself some stickers, some other stickers. I actually drew the line for the bear. I think he's really cute, but he looked like he was missing something without his outline, so I drew that in. I've also got the alphas if I want to write Merry Christmas. Also got some of these other stickers here. You could possibly use some of these stickers on here. Pretty much any of the kit you want, and then of course all of the die cuts and everything. You can use some of these labels and then write Merry Christmas on them, or whatever you want, or stamp Merry Christmas if you have a Merry Christmas stamp on them. So it's really up to you what you want to do. So I'm going to end this part of the video here, and then I'm going to pick up with the cards, I think. Yeah, because the cards, what I'm going to do is just fast forward through them. So so then that way you can kind of see how I'm doing it, and then also if you have any other ideas, but it's not going to be like a super long video. But I wanted to cut through these with you just so you could see how I did it, and then you can watch me put all the cards together. And then if you have any questions, please leave them below and I will answer them as best I can, and I will see you after I'm done creating all of these cards. Alright, so here are all of the cards, and I'm going to try and keep them in frame as best that I can. I think we did a pretty good job of using up most of the supplies that we had there. I made some vertical cards, some horizontal cards. So now that you've seen those ones, I'll just keep laying on, I guess. And yeah, let's move these over maybe a little. And yeah, so between all of these cards, oh, here's another. So there's those ones, there's this one. And then I even made this one extra, which didn't have any of the cut pieces on it, but I really wanted to use that deer. As you saw throughout the cards, I kept trying to put that deer on one of those cards. So I finally got it on, which is good. But yeah, so these cards, they are all super cute. You can add extra things to them. You could stamp on the backgrounds. As I did in this one here. You don't have to leave them all plain. You can change them up a bit more. You can add more cardstock if you wanted to, less cardstock if you wanted to. You could even, like I said before, use some white cardstock and stamp your images on instead of stamping it right on the card. It's really, this kit is kind of really versatile in how you use it. You don't have to use it the exact same way I did. This is just a guideline. If you like the way that I did it, great. If you don't, change it up. It's really, really entirely up to you, which is why it's such a great idea. In the scrapbooking community, if you want to look up other sheets, they're called one-sheet wonders. But this one, because I wanted to use the planner sheets, I thought 3 sheets is about right in how many cards you get from making it, and it makes them all really different. As you can see, you have some, floral ones, some stripy ones, so there's a wide variety when you use 3 sheets rather than just one. You can use these not only for Christmas cards, but also if you're wanting to make bulk cards for the year. So if you wanted to use different papers, like when I was working on my samples, I used some old Cocoa Daisy papers from one of the kits, just so that I could look and see how I wanted different cards laid out. And this is, I just did card fronts so that I could do samples, and then as you saw, I expanded on some of these samples. And so I just wanted to see like how many cards I could get, what they would look like. See, this one is right here, and you can see how different it is by dressing it up, adding a little bit more stuff. This one we added the washi tape and we added the cardstock on. How much different they look depending on what you want, right? So as you go, you can you can make your cards all different. You can use more than one piece on each card, or you can just use one piece on each card and then maybe stamp in the background or something like that. So you could make a whole bunch of sentiment cards, and then you have a ton of cards to give away, and it really didn't take up much supplies or much time. So I really hope you enjoyed that class. I'm going to post pictures of groups of the cards just in the Cocoa Daisy post. So if you want to see them up close and personal, please go to the Cocoa Daisy website and or click on the link below to the Cocoa Daisy website to my blog post. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed that class, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.